Commissioner Kochmeyer's here. Good morning, Judge.
Good morning, Commissioner. The chairman said good morning to you before I got it unmuted.
Okay. Good morning, Mr. Chairman.
It's me. Good morning. Hey there. Hi, everyone. Happy. Hi.
Hi, how's it going?
Good. And you all? Judge. Very nice gift, Judge, that you gave in the Christmas appeal. I'm like, she could buy me a deep fryer. You got what are those things called?
No,
Air fryer. What did you get?
in the charitable?
Yeah. Yeah.
No, I didn't win anything.
Your name's next to something.
Not win, maybe donate.
Donated.
No, well, I gave some money. Maybe
Oh,
they
okay.
just.
For you. Okay. I'm like, if she's giving those kind of gifts, she can give me something. How are you today? Good, thank you.
What was purchased with the funds you donated?
They purchased a nice gift from you.
Well, just showing I was lazy.
Very nice gift from you.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Morning.
Howdy.
Howdy.
Morning.
All right, we got Commissioner Kochmeyer on the phone. All the commissioners have assembled. We can go ahead and call today's weekly agenda meeting for the Missouri Public Service Commission to order. Today is December 7th. That is now 10:15 a.m. So we will dive right on. Just a reminder to those that are on the phone or on WebEx, please mute yourselves unless you need to speak so that everyone can hear. Today we have 5 tariffs and new orders, 1 case discussion. Actually, I think you have PSC history here after hiatus. Before we dive into all that, we got to approve the minutes from the November 29th, 2023 agenda. Those have been distributed in advance. Commissioners, are there any questions or comments about those minutes? Hearing none, I'll go ahead and make a motion to approve the minutes from the November 29th, 2023 agenda. All those in favor, please say aye.
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 Opposed? Approved by a vote of 5-0. Moving right on, we have our first is in EO 2024-0098. This is in the matter of the application of Heather L. Klein for a change of electric supplier from Empire District Liberty Southwest Electric Cooperative. On September 18th, Heather Klein filed an application with the commission to request a change of electric supplier from Liberty Southwest Electric Cooperative, or SWEC. On the 12th of October, Liberty filed its response to its application and a motion to dismiss. And on October 16th, SWEC filed a response as well. November 2nd, the staff of the commission filed its recommendation and motion to dismiss. In that recommendation, staff stated that when they contacted Ms. Klein, she, quote, did not offer any information regarding experiencing abnormal power, voltage, current, or other problems with her electric service, nor did she have any safety concerns, end quote, and that she wanted to change her supplier to SWEC because of the charges applied by Liberty on her bills. Sections 393.106 and 394.315 of the Missouri Revised Statutes are commonly referred to as the anti-flip-flop statutes. And the purpose of these statutes is to prevent customers from switching back and forth between 2 electric suppliers to take advantage of rate differences. Granting Ms. Klein's request to change electric suppliers based solely on a rate differential is prohibited by state statutes. and therefore this order will dismiss her application. And I would recommend that we approve this order, version number 2.
I support the order.
Great. Commissioner Holzman,
I have support the order.
Commissioner Kolkmeyer,
I support the order.
Commissioner Hahn.
Also in support.
Great. All those in support of that order, version number 2, please say aye.
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 Is approved by a vote of 5-0. Next up, file number GA 2023-0441. This is in the matter of the application of Spire, Missouri for permission and approval and a certificate of convenience and necessity to provide gas service in Platte County, Missouri as an expansion of its existing certificated areas. So back on June 28th, Spire filed an application with the commission seeking a certificate of convenience and necessity to provide gas service in a portion of Platte County, Missouri as a further expansion of its existing certified area. And then on August 7th, Spire filed an amended application. On the 28th of September, staff filed its recommendation that a CCN should be granted for the service area described in the amended application, subject to certain conditions. On the 9th of October, Spire filed a response to staff's September 28th recommendation, stating that it agreed with all of staff's recommended conditions, except for the condition requiring it to quantify the assets included in rate base located in the area subject to the CCN request. On the 2nd of November, Spire and staff filed a joint filing informing the commission that the two parties had reached agreement on language for the condition requiring Spire to quantify the assets included in rate base located in the subject of the CCN request. So the commission finds Spire's provision of gas service in this area is necessary and convenient for the public service. For this order will grant Spire a CCN to provide gas service within the area set out in the amended application, subject to the conditions recommended by staff and agreed to by Spire. And I would recommend that we approve this order, version number 1. Commissioner Coleman,
I support the order.
Commissioner Holzman,
I support the order.
Commissioner Kolkmeyer,
I support the order.
Commissioner Hahn.
Also in support.
Great. All those in favor of supporting that order, version number 1, please say aye.
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 Those opposed, none, because it is approved 5-0. Next up, we have file number EC 2023-0395. Brett Felber complainant versus Union Electric Company, DBA Ameren, Missouri, respondent. On the 14th of November, Ameren, Missouri filed a motion asking the commission to strike its settlement offer and paragraphs referencing the settlement offer contained in Mr. Felber's November 13th pleading complainant's motion for restoration of utility services. Mr. Felber filed a motion in opposition to Ameren, Missouri's request, but did not state a legal reason why the material should not be stricken for the record. The commission's rules state that settlement offers are privileged and, except by agreement, shall not be used against participating parties. Therefore, this order will grant Ameren, Missouri's motion, and I would recommend that we approve this order, version number 1. Commissioner Coleman,
I'm in support.
Commissioner Holzman,
I support the order.
Commissioner Kolkmeyer.
Sorry, Mr. Chairman, couldn't get off mute. I'm in support.
Great, thank you. And Commissioner Hunt.
Also in support.
Okay, all those in favor of supporting that order, version number 1, please say aye.
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 That is approved by a vote of 5-0. Next up, file number EA 2023-0017. In the matter of the application of Greenbelt Express LLC for an amendment to its certificate of convenience and necessity. On October 12th, the commission issued a report and order regarding the application of Greenbelt Express LLC for a certificate of convenience and necessity. On the 10th of November, several parties collectively referred to as the agricultural associations filed a timely application for rehearing. In the judgment of the commission, this application for rehearing does not demonstrate sufficient reason to rehear the matter, and this order will therefore deny the application for rehearing. And I recommend we approve this order, version number 1. Commissioner Coleman,
I support the order.
Commissioner Holzman,
I'm in support of the order.
Commissioner Kolkmeyer,
I support the order.
Commissioner Hahn.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. After reviewing the Ag Association's request for rehearing and Greenbelt's response, the request for rehearing is really based on two things. Mr. Repsher's study and the Loomis study. Mr. Repsher's study, what's at issue is the carbon tax or the carbon regime, and at what point the assumption that underpins the study is applied. In this case, Mr. Repsher applied the imposition of the carbon tax in 2027. The ag associations contend that that really impacts the outcome or the benefit of the project based upon when that assumption is applied. They say they apply it as a binary variable, so a 0, 0 until it turns to a 1 in 2027. The ag associations contend you could have applied that at a different time or a later date. Greenbelt thinks that it's reasonable to apply that imposition of that assumption anywhere between 2025 and 2030. Greenbelt probably should have looked at alternatives to the imposition of that assumption because it does significantly impact the outcome anywhere between 2027 and 2030 to see what the difference was. The other contention that the ag associations make in the Loomis study is about employment and the number of jobs created. And I think we've already talked at length about the number of direct jobs, indirect jobs, induced jobs, et cetera, which is why I think, there's a fair amount of skepticism there because there's also no analysis of the availability of the workforce in those counties in Missouri. And, they attribute all of those jobs to being Missouri residents, which I think is an aggressive assumption and likely an unrealistic assumption. And so for those reasons, based upon, the commission does base our decision on the tartan factors on those two studies. When those studies do impact the amount of project benefits, and they do impact our analysis of the tartan factor. So I know tartan's not, required, but it does impact need, feasibility, and public interest. So for that reason, I won't be supporting the order today. But the other issue that the ag associations raised was modifying. They moved the commission to modify the commission's report in order to request additional data about county of residence for employees who work on that project. I think that's a fair request because that's the kind of data we're originally looking at anyway. We really want to know how many jobs are created and where they're created so that if there are projects like this in the future, we have some realistic idea about employment and actual public interest and benefits. So I don't actually, though, think that we have to modify our report in order to meet that criteria, though, because our existing report in order already has a catch-all that says that we can request any other data appropriate that we, that we would find valuable. So I think the staff can already request that employment level data. And I would, when we do get these annual reports, I would encourage the staff to request that kind of data. So I don't think that the order needs modified accordingly. However, this specific order on agenda today doesn't actually address that request to modify our order. It doesn't rule on it, in fact, at all. It just denies the request for rehearing. So I'm unclear where that request to modify our order is. But for all of those reasons, I won't be supporting the order today. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
No, appreciate it. Thank you for your well thought out comments. All right, go ahead and make a motion. We approve this order version number 1. All those in favor, please say aye.
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 All opposed?
No.
Approved by a vote of 4-1. Next up is file number WC 2022-0295. This is the staff of the Missouri Public Service Commission complainant versus I-70 Mobile City Inc. DBA I-70 Mobile City Park respondent. So on November 23rd of 2022, I-70 Mobile City Park filed a motion for summary determination. Due to an ongoing discovery dispute, that motion was continued until the commission staff had sufficient discovery to answer that motion. The respondent filed an amended motion for summary determination on September 22nd of 2023. That motion is the subject of this order. On October 20th, staff filed its response in opposition to I-70 Mobile City Park's amended motion for summary determination, arguing that issues of material fact exist concerning whether the respondent is engaging in the unlawful provision of water and sewer services to the public for gain without certification or other authority from the commission. I-70 City Mobile Park's motion does not contain sufficient material facts to support its contention that is not devoted to public use. Therefore, respondent's motion does not entitle it to judgment as a matter of law because respondent has not met its burden to show that it is not providing water or sewer services indiscriminately to the public within I-70 Mobile City Park. And I would recommend that we approve this order, version number 2. Commissioner Coleman.
I support the order.
Commissioner Holzman.
I'm in support of the order.
Commissioner Kolkmeyer.
I'm in support.
Commissioner Hahn.
I'm also in support. Mr. Chair, this has been a case that has a long case history. The complaint was originally filed in April of 2022. I don't think, well, I certainly don't want to be in the business of regulating every water and sewer system in a mobile home park. I think this case does have the potential to settle if the parties were to re-engage in that conversation. For example, if I-70 would agree to start charging for their services differently, potentially including the water and sewer service into the pad rent or whatever lot rent is applied, the cost for the lots that don't require water and sewer, for example, the storage lots, would still have a lower fixed cost, and that cost would likely be unchanged. Or I-70 could look at forming a nonprofit entity. I know this would be difficult potentially for I-70. I understand they want to keep their mobile home rates low to be competitive, but the cost of regulation are much greater. The staff witness Harris, even in his direct testimony, said where possible, it's better for very small companies to operate in a manner that does not require commission regulation. So I would really encourage I-70 and staff to re-enter settlement negotiations with a renewed sense of compromise to reach some kind of mutually agreeable resolution so that we do not have to regulate every water and sewer operation in every subdivision or mobile home park. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Great. Thank you, Commissioner, for your comments. Okay.
Mr. Chairman, Mr.
Yeah,
Chairman,
go right ahead. Go right ahead.
I second those comments, very much so. I think that there could be some compromise here and work together with them. So I totally agree with Commissioner Hahn's comments.
Well, it seems like there's a lot of spirit of compromise, and it could be a Festivus miracle. This case has been going on quite some time. So, well, I'll go ahead and I'll make the motion. We approve this order, version number 2. All those in favor, please say aye.
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 Opposed? And that is approved by a vote of 5-0. Next up, we got case discussion. File number TO 2023-0436. Matter of the investigation of Aristotle Unified Communications LLC related to the Connect America Fund Phase 2 auction. Judge, what you got for us?
Mr. Chairman, good morning. I put this memo on to remind the commissioners we have a hearing set for Tuesday morning in this matter. The company has one witness, staff has one witness, so I would expect the hearing to be relatively brief. And I plan to try to lay out the parties' positions. Although if the commission wants, I do have folks from staff here if the commission has any questions for them.
Great. No, we appreciate your memo. Commissioners, anybody have any questions for the judge or for staff?
I do. I'm talkative today. Thanks, Judge. In reviewing your memo, staff argues that Aristotle has not used the funds to offer services and that Aristotle has not used those funds for the provision, maintenance, and upgrading of facilities that do not even exist. Can you talk about that? What does that mean?
Briefly, it means that I don't believe Aristotle has any Missouri customers and has not built any Missouri infrastructure. And I did reference an exhibit that the company filed. It's confidential, so I won't get into any details. But the company did list how it has expended the funds that it's received so far.
Yeah, that's helpful. I reviewed that. I won't also get in the details of it, but my understanding also from that CEO's testimony is that they don't have any Missouri customers yet because they were awarded such a small, award and small census tracts, that they were going to contract with another provider to basically take on their census tracts. And while they have invested in equipment, to effectuate that investment, they just haven't done the transfer agreement between to transfer their equipment to another provider who will then provide the services. Is that a fair assessment or?
That's my understanding, Commissioner, yes.
Okay, so they've made investments, but they just don't have any Missouri customers yet because they don't have a transfer agreement in place yet.
I believe that is what Aristotle's position would be.
Okay, thank you.
Any other questions for the judge or for staff? Thank you, Judge.
Thank you.
See you on Tuesday.
Thank you.
Now, it looks like we got some PSC history today. I believe Alex in my office was responsible for this. If that's incorrect, somebody please jump up and claim this. But he went newer this time. Went back to Mr. Jim Fisher. So Mr. Fisher, originally from Raytown, Missouri, received his undergraduate and law degree from the University of Kansas. Prior to being appointed to the Missouri Public Service Commission, Mr. Fisher had served as Missouri Public Counsel since 1981 and served in that office of public counsel since 1976. He was appointed to the PSC by Governor Kit Bond in January of '84 and reappointed by Governor Ashcroft in April of '85 and served on the commission until 1990. During his time as the commissioner of the PSC, decided cases involving Callaway, the Wolf Creek, and Grand Gulf nuclear power plants. Because of the magnitude of the rate increases associated with those nuclear power plants, the commission ordered to phase in the associated rate increases over several years, which was the first phase-in of a rate-based addition in the nation's history and would become the basis for a new accounting standard adopted by the Financial Accounting Standard Board, or FASB. I didn't know that started in Missouri. Man, learned something new. The commission also required that nuclear decommissioning costs be accumulated throughout the life of the plant and be placed in an outside trust, which became basis for another new FASB standard. Man, look, we weren't the show. We were the show you stayed. In 1992, Mr. Fisher founded his own law and consulting firm, now called Fisher & Doherty PC, which represents clients for the Missouri Public Service Commission, other state agencies, as well as in related state and federal litigation. Mr. Fisher remains an active practitioner representing clients before the commission.
Yes.
Huh. Man, look at Missouri go. Well, thank you, Mr. Fisher, for your service, and thank you, Alex, for those nuggets of information.
To make sure Jim gets that.
Yeah. Well, I'm sure he's probably watching.
You think?
He's maybe he forgot to program his VCR to tape it.
Record it.
All right, we'll move right on into scheduling. So today we have our PSC holiday party starting at 11:30 a.m. Then on Tuesday, the 12th of December, we have an evidentiary hearing that Judge just told us about in TO 2023-0436. That's the matter of investigation of Aristotle Unified Communications LLC related to the Connect America Fund Phase 2 auction. And that'll be at 9 a.m. room 310 with Judge Pridgeon. Wednesday, the 13th of December, we have our agenda at 10:15 a.m. immediately following with a USB meeting following agenda. On the 18th of December, Monday, we have an evidentiary hearing in WC 2023-0142, Michael A. Goad, complainant versus Missouri American Water Company, respondent. That is scheduled for 9 a.m. in room 310, Commission headquarters. Thursday, December 21st, agenda at 10:15 a.m. Thursday, December 28th, agenda at 10:15 a.m. And Thursday, January 4th, 2024. Agenda at 10:15 a.m. and an evidentiary hearing in EO 2024-0035, Matter of the application of Judith Turner Davis for a change of electric supplier to Platte Clay Electric Cooperative from Evergy, Missouri West, Inc., DBA Evergy, Missouri West. And that is at 11 a.m. in room 310 in Commission's headquarters. Is there any other business coming before the commission, or any changes or comments on the scheduling, Commissioner?
Mr. Chairman, what is a VCR?
Oh,
Do you play 8-track tapes on that?
yes, yes. 8 tracks, and you can get out your 45s as well. Well, seeing no other business before the commission, move that we will stand adjourned. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Yeah, let's.